Yeah, absolutely excited today to have Arroba Nat on the podcast, and I'm sorry if I mispronounce it or said it wrong. How have things been good for you?
First of all, thank you for having me. It is Arroba Nat, you said it like correctly.
Okay.
And things have been really crazy. My new album just uh, released last Friday. So it's been a busy week.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like album rollouts are this big, like all-encompassing process. It feels like nowadays. How has that process been for you? And how do you feel now that it's kind of out and the world's making what they want of it?
Since it's a really personal album, it's been weird and I feel like really, really vulnerable because I'm exposing all of my feelings and my thoughts about myself. So
Yeah,
it's been crazy, but people have been receiving it really well.
yeah. In terms of is this like probably the most personal album that you've put out to date? And I guess what kind of led you to wanting to do that and kind of following through?
In all of my previous works, I've always talked about my relationship with other people
Hmm.
and accompanied with my therapy process. I was like, I need to focus on myself. I need to stop taking care of other people and start to taking care of me. So I need to take a look inside of me to see what's wrong, what hurts, what am I thinking, what I feeling. So it was a really long and hard process, but the main reason I made this album about myself, it was because I needed to heal lots of things.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's something we all kind of go through, isn't it? Where like we need go through these therapy processes and have some introspective looks on ourselves, and it's sometimes the hardest things to do, and to be able to do that and express it in music and be not only vulnerable with yourself but vulnerable with whoever is listening is huge. And I honestly offer a lot of congratulations there because it's not the easiest thing to do on any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess kind of going all the way back to the beginning here, right? What about when you were growing up? What music were your parents listening to? And then when you found music yourself, what did you start to really gravitate towards?
My house was really weird because I grew up with my mother and three siblings. So I always remember my mom was listening to Juan Manuel Serrat, but also Bee Gees and Cat Stevens. Like
Yeah,
that's my mom. And then my older brother used to listen to Iron Maiden and all of these rock
yeah,
things for a while. And then he started listening to José Alfredo Jiménez and he introduced him to me. And my sister were listening like to all pop music that was going on at that time. And my other brother used to listen to house music and reggae and all of these different things. So
yeah,
in my house was really different kind of music listening. But my older brother was actually who introduced me to one of my favorite things that was Bolero. And yes, Bolero is a great thing in ranchero. So with Jose Alfredo Jimenez and Chabela Vargas and Jose, like those were my first inspirations. But what I grew up listening myself was like indie music, Mexican indie music, like Caloncho, Molaferte, Carla Morrison, like really sentimental music,
yeah.
emotional music.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, especially in that piece, I feel like that, shines through in the music you make and the pretty heavy inspiration and influence there. And oddly enough, you mentioned, and this sounds, I feel like every time I say this, it sounds so awful, but my introduction to Bolero music was through a TV show called Narcos, where they play a lot of like old, it sounds so bad when I say it out loud, but then like I went on this like extreme deep dive into like bolero music, and like I really thoroughly enjoy it and like still listen to it today. It's just funny how the weirdest things will introduce you to different types of music. Uh, yeah, it sounds like you had quite the eclectic household in terms of what was being played and listened to, and I think
Yes.
that's amazing. Whenever somebody asks me, like, how do I find my taste? Like, I'm like, just listen to everything. Like, you don't know, you could love one artist, but you gotta go somewhere else. Listen to something else. It gives you more of an appreciation for your favorite artist, and it just lets you kind of hear
Open your
different.
mind.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
100%. I guess when it comes back to circling all the way back around to your album, what in terms of a production style, are you more of a hands-on person when it comes to the production, or are you very trusting in the person who is producing it to know the sound that you want?
Uh, I produced this album with two really good friends called German and Ravi, who are like together multiverso rec, like
Hmm. Yeah.
multiverse. So I trust them entirely with my life.
Hmm.
This is the second album we produced together, but I believe in this album, I was like more involved in parts of the production. Like I play some keys and I made like a drum beat for a song, and like I feel like really connected to this album. So I was really involved in it, but I'm also a really trusting person. So
Yeah.
both ways.
Yeah, it's good to have, people that you really trust in that space, kind of gives you maybe a little more freedom to focus on other things that are maybe a little more important in that space. You mentioned how this album was very personal to you. Was the songwriting strictly you, or were you collaborating with anybody on the process?
Most of the songs I wrote them myself, and I believe the last song of the album called Merezco, I wrote it with my producers and a really good friend called Greta Ella. And one particular song, I think it's one of my favorites. It's called Me Duele Todo. And I wrote it in a song camp in Spain. And actually, it was a co-produced song with Alberto Torres, who is also from Spain, and we were like four people in the room, and I like tell them about what I was feeling and said like I want to write something about it. I had already like a few lines and the idea of the song, but it came out really 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 good and I love that song. But yes, I had like a couple of
All
co-writings.
right. Is
Yes.
is co-writing you have something like experience with on previous albums, or have you always been this more of a solo writer?
Uh, Most of my career, I've been a solo writer, but at a point, I open up my mind to it to write with other people because we are all humans and we experience the same things. So only it was in my last album, Todo Pasa, when I started to co-write with other friends, and I've write for different people as well, not only for my project. But I really love that.
Yeah.
It's a good exercise.
Yeah, no doubt. And kind of again back to that, opening your mind to anything and other experiences, it goes a long way in understanding yourself and understanding, yeah, that human connection that we do definitely all share. Um, so, you've released a few albums now. Is there any anxiety, maybe around this one particularly because of it being so personal, but um once it was finally out, were you, kind of happy it was out? Are you already on to the next project, or are you kind of sitting and basking in this one?
I always have lots of anxiety before an album drops out. This is my third one. And one thing I realized through therapy is that I will always like how do I say this? Like me pongo el pie. Like I don't trust myself enough
Mm,
and my talent. So I always doubt myself really much before the release of the album, and I enter in a state of anxiety and depression and don't believe in myself. But with this album was different because I have more tools to handle my anxiety,
Yeah.
and I am really like chill about it
I feel that.
because it was like a really hard process for me to make this album. So I am like really calm, chill. Also, the anxiety of like releasing it and let everyone know what I feel and what I think and what hurts inside of me. So,
Yeah.
but I feel really happy about it.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't relate more on the, just trusting yourself piece and believing in the abilities that you have, despite, everybody in the room could tell you that you're good at something and you're just like, I'm not
No, I'm
sure you're
not.
right. Yeah, I'm not sure you're being honest with me. Yeah, I go through
Yeah.
that all the time. I get it. It's like the worst feeling in the world. So I guess now that it's out, are you sitting on other music? Are you just kind of you're going to be touring with this new music? What is the plan with that?
I we made a huge plan for it.
Hmm.
I'm starting actually on Sunday the tour. I had a date last night. I opened for this Chilean Mexican artist called Mon Laferte in Puebla, and it was amazing. But my tour starts in 2 days, and I'm going through all Mexico. And for the first time, I'm visiting Latin America with another friend. But we have pre-recorded live session because I made an art exhibition, art like immersive and interactive art about
Yeah,
the album.
yeah,
So we recorded a live session in the exhibit. So I'm pretending to give the album the most life I can give it.
yeah. I do have a question on the art piece. I guess like in the when you're looking through on Spotify, you have the canvases. Is that all stuff that you put together yourself, or is that something you had somebody work on? And what's the identity of like the house and I just love the story behind all that.
Um I don't know. Well, the story about the house and me being the house comes back from my other album, Todo Pasa, because like I heal two relationships in that album. And the last song, it's called Tiempo a Solas, like some time alone, because I realized that I needed time alone for myself and that I needed to take care of me and that I am my own home. So I took that concept and made it happen with the hand of Hellcat, that it's an artist, illustration artist. So I told her like I want to make a house, like a character for the whole album. I want to take the primary colors and explode that. So with her and a friend called Soy Tuleo, we made the art exhibit, but we like make everything about the little house. And we also make like this little merch
Yeah,
with blind boxes of the house with different faces. And it was crazy, but the whole concept comes from my last album, Todo Pasa, the last song only. And yeah, I wanted to explode that like I am my own home and I need to take care of me. And every room is a song and also a feeling.
yeah, I love that. That is like genuinely love that. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start incorporating that into my life. I am my own home. I love that. Yeah.
Yes.
um yeah, I love the little house merch. That's amazing. In terms of like your, being an artist is like this, very overwhelming process to begin with. What is your relationship with, the social media aspect of being an artist?
Sometimes I hate it. Like at first, I really loved it because I had this closeness with my followers and it was really amazing. But when the algorithms start to change like heavily,
Hmm.
I didn't catch up with it. So it's been really hard for me to understand how social media works, especially with TikTok. Like it's
Nobody
really
knows how it
hard for
works. Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm still trying to figure it out, but that's like the bad part of it. But the good part is like there's a lot of opportunity to grow and to get new people to know my project. So that's really really good, and I love that part of social media. But sometimes I'm really bad at it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't think anybody knows fully how the algorithm works in any stretch of the imagination. Even the people who claim to are just kind of, riding, by the seat of their pants. I feel like so. I wouldn't be too hard on yourself in that space. I think as long as you're doing something, that feels genuine to the person you are, I think you're doing it right. So I think you're probably in a pretty good spot. So in terms of the tour, and I guess touring through Mexico and Latin America, what are some, I'm assuming you've toured through Mexico before. What are some of your favorite stops along the way?
Always my hometown. It's one of my favorite spots. I'm from Zacatecas, Mexico. That it's like up north.
Hmm.
Also, I really love. Oof, it's hard because there are a lot of good places. I
Yeah.
think Puebla, it's a really good spot, and the people receive me really well. And obviously, like Mexico City, it's my prime. I love Mexico City a lot. Yes.
Yeah. Amazing. Is there any like I guess I'm not fully aware of how much touring you've done like in the States. What's the difference between touring, in Mexico versus in the States? Is there obviously a reception difference? What is that like?
Yeah, I haven't toured a lot in the US, but it's really different. Like they have, I believe, more infrastructure and like I don't know, like it feels really different, but I think the way everything is organized and I mean the venues I visited at the US are really prepared for everything and good equipment, good team, good green rooms.
Hmm.
And Mexico, you can have a really bad place with really good audio, but or a really nice place with bad audio. So it's depends on the place you're presenting
Yeah,
because if you're an indie artist like me, you can have like not that good places. But if you are a huge artist, of course, you're going to
sure.
have the best.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
I guess too, in terms of maybe we'll switch to maybe easier, maybe harder questions. I love asking this one. If you were teaching a music class, you had 4 or 5 albums that were required listening for the class, kind of based on your music tastes, what would those 4 or 5 albums be?
Oh, this is really hard. Uh, I think I'll choose the original soundtrack from Her that Arcade Fire did with I don't remember who. That album is like really emotional and it's all like music only, not lyrics. So I think that will be one. I will choose. Oof, this is really hard. I
Yeah,
wasn't prepared for
it's
this.
a tough one. Yeah.
uh, Probably Chabela Vargas. Any of her albums or like the top listened songs of her because she didn't write her own music, not all of her music, but the way she performs it and feels the music, it's unbelievable. I really loved her music. Um, I would choose probably something from James Blake. I don't know if his first album, like he creates atmospheres that's out of this world. I would choose the thing that I grew up with, Enjambre. It's a rock Mexican band that it's also from Zacatecas, where I'm from. And I would choose Daltónico or Pro Año. Those two albums are really good. And oh, this is really hard. Uh, I've been listening a lot to Faith Webster, so like she creates really good things that I admire and love.
Yeah.
So that's probably my. I don't know if they were 5 albums,
You're
but
good. Yeah, you're good. That's
yes,
it's a solid list. And again, I love this question because it always gives different answers, and probably could do a little better job preparing people I'm going to ask that one,
yes.
but it's okay. You did great. And then maybe in terms of your discography, right? What song that you've released are you most proud of?
Oof, that's a great question as well. But I think like I'm really in love with this album Mirar Adentro, and oh, this is really hard. Can I give like one song from
Yeah,
each?
yeah,
Yes. So from uh Los Días de la Sala is an EP that I released, and my favorite song is Siempre Te Voy a Querer because it connects a lot with people. Like I think that's an international feeling of wanting to spend time with your family and with those you love. From Para Echar la Lloradita, I believe Ausente is one of my favorites because of the Bolero thingy, or La Perra Soledad because of the power that it has. Oh, this is really hard. From Todo Pasa, I think my favorite one is Despertar, that it's an instrumental, but it represents a lot this album, like how my universe and my mind expanded. And from Mirar Adentro, this is really hard. I think La Ciudad or Límite. I think Límite, it's one of my favorites.
yeah. Love it. Um, so I guess kind of circling back to the new album, what in terms of if somebody's listening to it, what feeling would you really want them to take away from having listened through the album?
I think that everything gets better. Like in this album, it's like a journey to through all of the bad things that happened to me, and how I can take all of that and transform them into something beautiful, and the feeling that I am a deserving person, that I deserve love, that I deserve to be taken care of. And I think that's the message that I want to send to the world with this album. Like, you deserve everything you want.
Mm, yeah, that is a hard feeling for a lot of people to get around, isn't it? Um,
Yes.
via circumstances of the world or their own, trauma or whatever they got going on. Definitely a tough one to wrap your head around. And then I guess, I love getting to, I live my life in music curation. So I always love talking about, give me a song or a project or an artist that you've, really been into recently.
Ooh, there's an artist called Celines. I think she lives in New York. She was also in South by Southwest, and I really love what she's going on around. And I have to say, two of my really best friends. It's not only because they are my friends, but they have like a huge development and grow. But one is called Bruces, and the other one is called Bratti or Brady, if you want to say it.
Hmm.
But they are both making excellent music. They are thriving, and they are just really, really good artists.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And then I guess, yeah, just kind of wrapping up, like, what you talked about the tour a little bit, but what else can we expect from you coming, on the horizon?
I don't know, like with this album, all of the journey I expect from me, for me, and for all of the people that listen to it, it's like a healing journey. Like that's my main goal, and like making everyone a part of this little house universe. I actually make the art exhibit, the exposition online too. So
Yeah.
people can go into my website and visit all of the different rooms and leave a comment or a picture to interact with
I
the
love that.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. I think the main thing about this is to heal, to be brave enough to look inside of ourselves and face all of the things we don't want to face sometimes. It's hard, but it's necessary to become a better version of ourselves.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Your tour starts Sunday and it ends when does how many stops do you have and where does it end at?
Uh I have nonstop all of like from Thursday through Sunday, all April, May, and then I have like a little pause and returning, I believe, August and all August and probably September.
Amazing. Well,
Yes.
I appreciate you taking time out of your day today to talk to me, and yeah, I can't wait to see what you got coming in the future.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
Yeah,
having me.
absolutely. Uh,